evening and welcome to the Fort Clinton City Council regular meeting of April 9th, 2019. Please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, the Lord's Prayer, and taking a moment of silence for our military, veterans, and first responders. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Steve Velos.
Excused.
Joe Freeman.
Present.
Beth Gilman.
Here.
Roseanne Hickman.
Present.
Brian Hill.
Here.
Margaret Phillips.
Present.
Lisa Sardi. Present.
Council, you received the January 22nd, the February 12th, and the February 26th, 2019 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as they are written?
Madam President, I move to accept all three as written.
The motion to approve the minutes as they're written, a second from Mr. Friedman. All those in favor? Aye. The meeting minutes stand approved as they are written. The chair notes that certification has been received regarding the compliance with the rules and notification of this meeting. We'll move to our guest presentation portion of the evening. And this evening we have Judy McKinney with us from the Fort Clinton Elks Lodge, 1718.
The Fort Clinton Elks, which is right down the street, as everyone knows, you should stop in. We are letting the public come in to see what we have to offer. But we have a lot to offer the community. In one area in particular, we've helped people that are suffering from addiction. And my husband Jim and I were talking, and he said, let's put it towards drug awareness. So there was a fundraiser of a comedy night, plus some Staggeroo dollars that compiled the check to $2,000 that we'd like to present to the police department. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Could we take one and you'll send it to me? Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy, for all of your efforts with that. Certainly appreciated.
Madam President,
Mrs. Sardi?
I move to amend the agenda to include council's election of a mayor for the city of Fort Clinton.
I have a motion to amend the agenda to include council election of the mayor.
And second.
I have a second from Mrs. Gilman. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Freeman.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman.
Yes.
Brian Hill.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Lisa Sardi. Yes.
Well, we've amended the agenda. Obviously, we have, council has a task at hand, and that is to make a decision in the best interest of the city. I will now open it up to council.
Madam President, I move to elect Michael Snyder as mayor of the city of Port Clinton
to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Mayor Hugh Wheeler.
I have a motion from Ms. Phillips to elect Mr. Mike Snyder. I have a second from Mr. Brian Hill. Any discussion?
Madam President.
Go ahead,
Mr. Hill?
We had about a week and a half to talk with both candidates. Both are pretty amazing. It was a win-win situation for us, and I'm not sure how everybody feels on here, but Mr. Velo is certainly more than qualified. His resume is pretty impressive. It was my feeling that he could do a lot of the work that he had talked with us about over the next 2 years and 8 months on City Council, maybe even more so than just 8 months filling in for the mayor's position and then leaving. Mr. Snyder, on the other hand, is also qualified and grateful. He's the only candidate that is on the record to run in the fall so far. And ultimately, it was the overwhelming support from the people in the community that called nonstop, emailed, talked to me in person. And not only was he the one candidate that everybody really got behind, and these are the people that I'm supposed to represent as a city councilman, but Mr. Snyder's clearly going to be the man to beat should anybody get in the fall. So for those reasons, he has my vote. Thank you.
Mrs. Gilman?
Madam President, this is not an easy vote. We're in a unique situation. The pros and cons are hard to discern. Both men are qualified to assume the role of mayor, a role which, in my opinion, should have an effective working relationship not only with council, but with key audiences, which include but are not limited to governmental agencies, community groups, the media, nonprofits, schools, business owners, and residents. Both men have been on council and have impressive resumes of leadership and accomplishments. Both have short and long-term goals for the city. To come to a decision is very difficult as these men bring unique skill sets to the table. We've had to weigh the professional and technical perspective and the community perspective. We have to find a solution the public will be receptive to while not further damaging trust in city government. Nurturing trust is an investment in economic recovery. It can lead to effective and efficient policies designed to better the city and community as a whole. This decision needs to be a solution that combines short-term goals and long-term strategies. No matter who serves in capacity as mayor, council will continue to work for you and the city of Port Clinton. The resignation of Mr. Wheeler created an opportunity for Mr. Velo to step up. It also opened the door for Mr. Snyder to step in. Either way, you have individuals dedicated to serving you. As a citizen, you should take pride that both of these men care enough to take on this task. Madam Mayor, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilman. I'll just go down the line. Ms. Phillips?
I agree with what has been said. And looking at all the information on both candidates, it's very obvious that both have skill sets that the city of Port Clinton can use and will use in the position of mayor or in the position of councilman. Very pleased with both, and that's why it took us a week and a half to figure out what to do, because they are just so good at what they do. Thank you, Madam President.
Ms. Phillips, thank you. Mrs. Hickman?
First of all, I would like to thank both Mr. Velo and Mr. Snyder for stepping up to fill in the mayor's seat. I also want to thank our citizens for their patience during this process. Although it seemed like an easy task to all of you, this was a situation we had never encountered. We needed to do our research before we made a decision. I take my position on City Council very seriously and work for the citizens who elected me to do this, to hold this office. This was not an easy decision, as both candidates are very qualified to complete the former mayor's term. I respect the process and know that whomever is voted in tonight will continue to work tirelessly for our community. We have been divided for a very long time, and it is time for our community to heal and heal together. Thank you.
Mrs. Hickman, thank you. Mr. Friedman?
I agree with Brian Hill on the statement that I think Gabe Velo is absolutely qualified to be the mayor's position, but in 8 months the city would lose it. And I think taking that extra 2 years on city council is in the long run in the better interest of the city.
Mr. Friedman, thank you. Mrs. Sardi?
Good evening, everyone. I've heard from many people, either by by email, which I did read each and every email that I received. I received phone calls that would stop me as I was going out and about the business to give me their opinions and concerns on this situation. And I thank you for all of that. And I thank the two candidates for putting their name in. We're lucky to have people that want to step up. This is not an easy position to be in the public eye. I've had people say the decision is an easy decision, it's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, it's not. We have to take a lot into consideration when we're on council and weigh the pros and cons. Both candidates are very qualified. I worked with both of them. I worked with Mr. Snyder in 2014-15 when he was on City Council, and I worked with Mr. Below since 2014. They both are great leaders. I looked to Mr. Snyder when I first came on to council, not being aware of what happened, and he was more than happy to help me and lead me. Then Mr. Below stepped into that position, and he has become a leader also. They both promote the city, care about the city, and want what's best for the city. It's been a long 3 years. We do need to all come together, and we have to do what's best for the city as a whole. I respect each person on council, and will respect their decision this evening is their vote for the next mayor. Whichever person is elected as mayor this evening, I can and will, along with councils, I believe, work with this person to make the city better for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Bill Friedman,
The motion, yes, the motion was to elect Mike Snyder. We're voting yes. Mr. Friedman, that was a yes?
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman.
Yes.
Brian Hill.
Yes.
Margaret Phillip.
Yes.
Lisa Sardi.
Yes.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Mike Snyder.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually don't really know what to say other than I just texted my folks who are on vacation in Florida, and unfortunately my first act as mayor, my mother served on the planning committee. That's what the text said. I can't repeat what she just responded. I want to thank you, as many of the council members mentioned, the overwhelming support throughout the community. I guess we get started right away. Most mayors up to this point had about a month and a half to plan. I think Mr. Martin and I are having breakfast tomorrow morning and going to get a good start unless we visit Bell's later tonight. I thank you. What?
Mr. Mayor Snyder, boy, oh boy, that's going to catch me a couple more times.
That's okay.
Forgive me
That's
for that,
okay.
please.
It's catching me.
What I would like to do is administer the oath of office at this time.
And I want to tell you a little bit about what I brought with me today. I don't have my family Bible. My parents are on vacation in Florida. They wouldn't tell me where it is for probably obvious reasons. But as many of you know, I recently traveled overseas to Asia and to meet with several kids that worked for me this past summer. Well, I also had the opportunity to meet a family or a young lady and her now new family that worked for me 10 years ago in Taiwan. And when we met, she gave me a series of gifts, some candy for my granddaughter and some teacups and so forth. She also gave me a Bible written in Mandarin. So I'd like to be sworn in on that this evening. And you know, normally I'd ask my parents to hold the Bible. And one of the things I experienced overseas was the feeling of family and camaraderie. You'll actually read an article in the Beacon later this week about that feeling. And it talks about, you know, if you ever won the lottery, and
my buddies and I would get together, and when we get together, we always talk about, okay, what happens if you win the lottery? What would you do for your family? What would you buy? And of course, it would be where would you live? And other than Port Clinton, Ohio, there's no doubt in my mind that I would find myself in Taiwan because of that feeling of family. That article goes into great discussion about the experiences of family in the house and out in the community. Well, we have a really strong family bond in our community. We all have lots of things in common, but there was one other location here in Port Clinton that every time I had that experience, that family experience in Taiwan, that it just brought me right back, and that's the family experience I've had over the past 12, 13 years hanging out with the members of the Port Clinton Fire Department. So if he is willing, I would be honored if Chief Ken Johnson would hold the Bible for me. Okay. Now you're going to have to say it in Mandarin.
Okay.
That's my right hand, isn't it?
Right
Yes.
hand. Okay. I'm Michael Snyder.
I, Michael Snyder,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties of the office of mayor
discharge the duties of the office of mayor
of the city of Port Clinton,
of the City of Port Clinton,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
commencing April 9th,
Commence-
2019,
commencing April 9, 2019,
during my continuance in said office.
during my continuance in said office. Thank you very much.
Mayor Snyder.
I don't have names yet.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is when it gets good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
You don't have to leave.
All right. Moving along, this evening we have no public comment. We'll move to the mayor's report.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Except you have coffee tomorrow morning.
Oh, I do. Yes.
Coffee tomorrow morning.
Coffee with the editor at
The mayor.
Bistro.
I'm the,
oh, okay. Coffee with the mayor. You're the editor. At the Bistro 163 at 9 o'clock.
Hot
Is
off the
everybody
press.
there?
Hot off the press. Okay. The auditor's report.
Nothing other than congratulations, Mayor Snyder. Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Treasurer's report.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. We have bed taxes to date of $7,838.27.
Thank you. The law director's report.
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Snyder. Look forward to working with you in office.
The safety service director's report.
Get dizzy in this chair. Holy cow.
Thank you, Madam President. Before I forget, I wanted to start with, I note for second reading tonight is ordinance 1419. There is a deadline associated with that. I would ask council to consider passing that after second reading tonight, so we meet the April 19th deadline. Tomorrow, we will be conducting a leaf pickup citywide. Brush pickup started Monday, and found that we just had a lot of leaves that needed to be. So we've added a single day of leaf pickup that will be this one and only before the fall, and then we'll continue with the brush pickup the rest of the weekend. That will then continue to be on the second Mondays of each month. And a reminder that April 27th will be the beach cleanup and the spring cleanup at the High Grounds, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. for city residents. The Easter egg hunt is this weekend at Lakeview Park at 10 a.m. Saturday, the 13th. And I think that will do it for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. The police chief's report.
Yes, congratulations, Mayor Snyder. Thank you, Chief. That is all I have tonight, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief?
I'd like to thank all the people that came to our open house on Monday, April 1st. It wasn't an April Fool's joke. We did fire up, and we're in our 8th day running EMS. We have been really busy, but it has been very, very fulfilling. We have done, it just came off about a hitch. We've done very well. Very pleased with that. And welcome, Mayor. Take us forward. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Chief. This evening, we have no correspondence. We'll move to third readings of ordinances and resolutions. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 13-9.
Ordinance 13-19.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, 13-19, thank you.
An ordinance endorsing the establishment of the Portage River Water Trail as a designated water trail by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources.
Does council wish to take any action on ordinance 13-19?
Madam President,
Mrs. Sardi?
I move that we adopt ordinance 13-19.
A motion to adopt 13-19 from Mrs. Sardi, a second from Mrs. Hickman. Further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joel Freeman.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman.
Yes.
Brian Hill.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Lisa Sardi.
Yes.
Ordinance 13-19 has been adopted. We'll move to second readings of ordinances and resolutions. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 14-19?
Ordinance 14-19, an ordinance authorizing participation in the ODOT Cooperative Purchasing Program, including the Winter Road Salt Contract, authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to execute all necessary and required documents and agreements for participation in the purchasing program and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action on ordinance 14-19?
Madam President,
Mrs. Sardi?
I move we waive the 3 required readings as to, for ordinance 14-19 due to time sensitive.
The motion to waive the 3 required readings, a second from Ms. Phillips. Further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Lisa Sardi.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Brian Hill.
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Joel Freeman.
Yes.
Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 14-19?
Madam President,
Mrs. Sardi?
I move that we retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 14-19.
A motion to retain the emergency clause. The second from Ms. Phillips. Further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joel Freeman.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman.
Yes.
Brian Hill.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Lisa Sardi.
Yes.
Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 14-19?
Madam President,
Mrs. Sardi?
I move we adopt ordinance 14-19.
A motion to adopt ordinance 14-19.
I will second.
Second from Ms. Phillips. Further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Brian Hill?
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman?
Yes.
Beth Gilman?
Yes.
Joel Friedman?
Yes.
Ordinance 14-19 has been adopted. We have no new readings this evening. We'll move to business from the floor. Tonight, we'll start with Mrs. Sardi.
Thank you, Madam President. Since Mr. Marvin took my two announcements.
And 4 others that passed to you.
Oh, okay. That was, I passed it. I will, the Parks and Rec meeting, I canceled this evening, and I canceled the infrastructure. I will be picking out new dates for that meeting, it'll be announced. And welcome, Mayor Snyder. Look forward to what we can all do together as a group.
Thank you, Mrs. Sardi. Mr. Friedman.
I just have congratulations. That is it for me tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Hickman.
I want to congratulate you and welcome you to the table and look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Mrs. Hickman. Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, Madam President. Next week, Tuesday, 5:30, will be Emergency Services Committee meeting, and we will be welcoming Mr. Snyder to that so he can get him caught up on the police and fire. And then I want to congratulate him for joining us up here. Another Port Clinton High School graduate. We hear so often, oh, they graduate and they go away and we never see them again. Look at this council. How many of us are affiliated with the high school in some fashion. Good to see you with us, though, Mr. Snyder. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Mrs. Gilman.
Congratulations and welcome to Mayor Snyder. And I will see him tomorrow at the Sip and Chat at Bistro 163 at 9 a.m. The next LRO meeting is April 23rd at its regular scheduled time of 6:30 p.m. I'd like to thank the Alex. I know Judy McKinney had to leave, but I'd like to thank her for their generous donation. That was wonderful to see. Anything else, Madam President?
Thank you, Mrs. Gilman. Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. Congratulations, Mr. Snyder. I think it's pretty neat that we all got to be united in this decision tonight and just be united in moving forward in the city. I'm looking forward to that. Since I wasn't at the last regular council meeting, I did want to offer Mrs. Gilman my condolences for the passing of Miss Galvin. Everybody knows she was irreplaceable, so I just wanted you to know that our thoughts and prayers are going with you on that. I also wanted to thank Mr. Martin, because I had an incident down on Jefferson Street, and within about 2 hours he was down there and he got the whole thing taken care of. So we appreciate you and all the work that you do. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no further business.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to say something that Mr. Snyder told me to say at the end of every meeting when I became the person on council the longest in tenure. I move that this august body adjourn.
Second from Mrs. Sardi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.